Okay, we're calm now. So last week, Sonic Racing Crossworlds was the talk of the town for good and bad reasons. But today, I want to talk about the good in Sonic Racing Crossworlds because despite my gripes with the game still looks incredibly fun. And especially after it was at Summer Games Fest, I'm like completely sold like a billion times over now. But it's not just me. A ton of people who actually got to play the game are talking very positively about the game. And it's not just Sonic fans, but it's also like the general audience being very excited for the game, even saying that it can go toe-to-toe with Mario Kart. It even won an award for Best of at the Summer Games Fest, which is a crazy achievement. Hell, I'm seeing more casual audiences be excited for the game than actual fucking Sonic fans. But okay, besides that point, today in this video, I want to go over everything that we have seen in the past week or so in the news since it's kind of died down, and I just want to talk about this game and all the things that we know because it looks way bigger than I originally thought. But before we do that, I just want to go over my final thoughts on the price, because I do believe my video that I made on the price was kind of just a knee-jerk reaction. I literally made it like a few moments after they announced it, so I just want to get my more clearer thoughts out after the dust has settled and I'm not just like going off of emotions. Alright, let's get this. After giving it some thought, I still do think $70 is kind of a steep asking price, especially for a Sonic Racing game, and $90 for the deluxe is also kind of steep, but unfortunately Sonic isn't the worst offender of this. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero has charged $100 to $130 for their digital deluxe, and Call of Duty charges $100 at launch and then makes you pay it over and over each season for $25. So Sonic unfortunately isn't the worst. But after thinking about it a little bit, them charging $70 to them at least has to mean that the content in the game has to be worth the price. That's a AAA game. And honestly, looking at all of the stuff that we've seen at Summer Games Fest and all these other footage that we've seen, maybe the game will actually be worth at least $60 or close to that price, because I'm seeing a lot of content in the base game alone that looks really high quality and really good. And we'll talk about that in the actual video. Even subtracting the digital deluxe, we're still getting the free DLC with the Sega characters. Now you may be asking, why $70 and not $60 like we're used to? Well, if we're going to go with AAA quality Sonic games now, we're gonna have to accept the AAA price, and $70 is a fucking AAA standard now. And I've talked to people outside of the Sonic fandom and they just say, oh yeah, that's just the normal price for games now. What's the issue? Sonic fans have been asking for AAA quality games, and whether you like it or not, Sonic Racing Crossworlds does look like a AAA quality game, but that also means we're gonna have to accept the AAA price, and $70 is that price. Do I agree with it? No. But unfortunately, this is just where the gaming market is going. I really don't like it. I've talked about it a lot that I don't like it, but I'm still gonna get the game because I'm excited for it and I'm a Sonic fan. But if you really cannot afford it right now, don't buy it. I promise you there are more important things than Sonic the fucking Hedgehog. But those are my seasoned thoughts, I guess. I'm still against it. I still think at most it should have been like $60. But at this point, we can't really do anything about it. And I do think it was kind of baity of me to put this $90 in the thumbnail when it's actually $70. I promise you guys, I'm not one of those people who think the game is actually $90 because the DLC is the full content. I promise you, I'm not one of those people. Okay, now let's actually get to the good stuff. Starting with the big talk of the town, the rival system. Sonic Racing Crossworlds will have a system where at the beginning of each Grand Prix, you will get to choose a rival. And since we're on the topic real quick, yes, we've get to see the total amount of cups in the game. And from what it seems, there will be at least 7 cups, because it looks like each cup is relegated to 1 Chaos Emerald. 7 emeralds, 7 cups. I'm not sure what these bottom 3 cups are, but I guess we'll find out later. Each cup has 4 races. The first 3 races go through different tracks, and then the final race is just one big rally through all the previous tracks using the crossword mechanic, which I think is pretty cool. Back to the rival system. You can see a rival character that will be your main stopping force during your race, and they'll basically act as a difficulty setting for each Grand Prix. Now, that in itself would be whatever, but what makes this feature really cool is the fact that every character in the game will have a unique rival dialogue depending on what character you choose and who your rival is. And the Sonic Racing Crossworlds Twitter even made a tweet confirming that there are over 500 different types of character exchanges with over 1,000 lines of dialogue recorded in total, which is like insane. And each character gets a ton of animations that play with their lines, and you can see the improvements in the animation carrying from Shadow Gens to now the animation looks really cool. Now, something that is kind of unfortunate is that Izuka confirmed that the collab characters won't have any rival interactions. Now, that's kind of a bummer. It is kind of understandable considering all the checks and balances that they would have to do with the original IP holders to approve the voice lines. Yes, even the Sega characters, they still have to get approval from the other Sega characters because Sonic Team doesn't own those guys. Judging by how many voice lines were recorded from the base roster, to get them to record new lines for every DLC character, including free and paid, this is going to be like 1,500 to 2,000 lines of new dialogue just for the DLC alone. So it is kind of understandable. And I don't think they should have just had a basic one type of line for each character, because then it would just look kind of lazy. But overall, I am very excited to see all the different interactions for the different characters, especially characters that get little to no interactions with each other, or characters that just never interacted before. Like, I just imagine Sage being like the biggest dickhead, but like in the most blunt way possible. Very excited to see how they'll do all this. Now, another thing that we see extensive footage of is the extreme gear. As many people thought, yeah, it does not play like the original Riders games at all. But from people who have played it at Summer Games Fest, it still feels pretty different from the other cars, making it feel pretty unique. From what people are saying, it plays similar to the bikes in Mario Kart, where you can make much sharper turns on corners, making drifting much easier. And that also probably plays into the function of the extreme gears, because they are labeled as the boost style vehicle, where basically you are rewarded for keeping your boost with higher speed, and the more boost you keep, the faster you go. So while it isn't really original Riders, I have to be honest, it kind of makes sense. The original Riders had an insane learning curve that wasn't really explained well, and truth be told, as someone who likes Riders a lot, it wasn't really fun even when you got the hang of the gameplay and got good. So making it more accessible to more people is a good way of getting more casual people into Riders, and maybe in the future, if this game does really well, we can maybe get a proper Riders game. But overall, I still really like how the extreme gears look, and I think they'll be a ton of fun when they come out. Up next, I want to talk about the new tracks that we got, including the new music. And the big ones I want to talk about right now is the Unleashed tracks, because we're getting a ton of Sonic Unleashed representation in this game that isn't just Rooftop Run. Oh my god, I never thought I'd see the day. And it's levels that we don't really get to see that often. We got Apotos Day, Holoska Night, and my favorite so far, Dragon Road Night, which looks absolutely stunning, and the music in all of these tracks are amazing, especially Dragon Road, man. Oh my god, oh my, and dog, did you hear the Holoska Night? I'm sorry, I didn't know what just happened there. Let's continue. A lot of the new music we're hearing sounds really great, and it seems like the cope of the beta OST might be true. Fizzy Dawn on Twitter pointed out that the Wonder Museum music in the latest build of the Sonic Racing Crossworlds sounds pretty different from the beta build of the game. Take a listen. For some reason, that newer version sounds better, so it seems like the cope turned out to be hope. And I am really excited to see the rest of the music that we heard in the beta when it's all touched up. Moving on, we get to see Luminous Forest from Sonic Forces in the game. The track design in this track in particular looks really well designed, but for some reason the sky has like no stars or skybox, it's just black, so I hope they fix that in the final build. Up next, we have Sand Road from Sonic Adventure, or at least I assume it's Sand Road because we get a remix of Sand Road from Sonic Adventure, and I think the remix is actually pretty good, but the track does look really fun. And while for some reason no one entered it, as a Crossworld, cyberspace is actually there in the game. And if you have seen the Forbidden footage, you already know what it looks and sounds like, including myself. And I have to say, it is probably my favorite Crossworld, design-wise and music-wise, probably second behind Dragon Road. And as far as I can remember and look for, those are all of the new tracks that we saw, and we still have way more to discover. And honestly, I really like that Sonic Team is keeping them hidden. They kind of learned their lesson from Shadow Gens not to show everything in all of the fucking trailers, and that means we could kind of be surprised when we see the full game and see all of the music that we get and all the tracks. And speaking of the music, it seems like it's greatly improved since the last build. Now, technically this isn't a map, but there's one more thing that I want to talk about, and it's this mode labeled Race Park. Now, what I think it is that it's going to be some type of free roam hub. Now, I'm not sure to what extent, but I think it could probably be on the same level as the Splatoon hubs, where you just like walk around and mess around with players. But it would be really cool to have it as a full open world, but I'm not expecting that. And if you want to hear my fucking crack brain theory, I had a thought that maybe this could be the playground where they test out the new movement for the next 3D Sonic game. No. No, don't listen to me. I'm fucking crazy. I took too much fucking ayahuasca today. No, that's not what's gonna happen. Now, I guess the final thing I really want to talk about is the intro, because we finally get to see the full intro cutscene. Now, it's not the best quality and the audio is doubled, but we get to see it. And I have to say, this is probably my favorite intro for a Sonic Racing game by far, especially with that stylized intro. The song, on the other hand, is it's not that good. The lyrics aren't the best, but I really do like the instrumental, so it's kind of mixed. But I still love that they're making it a tradition that Sonic characters just straight up die in these intros. But overall, I really like this one, and I like that they're keeping a tradition of every racing game having a CGI intro. And yeah, that's basically all my thoughts. I'm like way more sold on this game than I've ever been before. This game, just from base content alone, looks jam-packed with stuff, man. And there's stuff that we don't even know about that I'm very excited to see. And again, even if you don't get the digital deluxe, you're still getting a full packed game, man. But yeah, that's basically all I have to say for today. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment down below what do you guys think about the footage we saw. Do you agree with me, disagree with me? Are you gonna get the game or you're not gonna get the game? Let me know. But yeah, I'm very excited for this game, like very excited. And it's really nice to see that all the DLC characters that we're getting from the Sega side are gonna be free, so that's good. Even if you don't get the again digital deluxe, you're still getting pretty good content. And there's rumors saying that apparently each free DLC character also gets their own stage. I don't know how true that is, but if that's true, then we're getting a lot of free content for the game. But yeah, that's really all I have to say for today. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, subscribe, and do all that nonsense. And the AMV contest is this week. If I'm uploading this on Wednesday, then stay hyped, get ready. If this is uploaded on a Saturday, which I hope it isn't, then I hope y'all have fun at that thing. But hopefully this goes up on Wednesday, and I'll see y'all in the next one.